Hi from my platform, Linda's TV show. If it is your first time, you are welcome. Please, after watching this video, if you like what I'm doing, please subscribe, put on your notification bell to all notification. It is very, very important because it will enable you to know when I upload a new video. Here we upload videos on daily basis as it is happening. We are bringing it live and direct, undirected to you. After watching, you are free to criticize, you are free to say your opinion, but let us say it constructively. Myself, Linda, will be standing here watching this video together with you from the beginning to the end. Then we'll go to the comment section. I appreciate you all, my lovely subscribers, followers, those who comment and share this video as we watch the video right now.
Trending. Following terror alerts issued by the United States government indicating possible attacks in the Federal Capital Territory Abuja, especially aimed at government buildings, places of worship, and schools, among other targets, the U.S. government on Wednesday issued another terror alert to its citizens, this time in South Africa. In the alert, which was posted on its embassy website, the U.S. government said it received information that terrorists may be planning to conduct the attack targeting large gatherings of people at an unspecified location in the Greater Sandton area of Johannesburg on Saturday, October 29th. The alert has come as a concern to many, as questions have been raised to determine why the U.S. is issuing terror alerts in African countries. Well, let's take a tweet. This is from Resources, who wrote, "Surprisingly, how did the USA assess that there is terror in South Africa, especially Sandton? Did our intelligence services verify this information? Unless our intelligence services are based in the US, then it means South Africa is not our country. Yes, terrorism is bad, but let South Africa solve its problems." Well, Ife Olua wrote, "In this terror alert, America is up to something. These people can never be trusted. They love crisis. They benefit a lot from crisis. They are on the mission of economy slavery, putting pressure on developing countries, but they will not succeed." Well, John wrote, "I hope that the government of South Africa also issues a strong warning to any foreign embassies in South Africa, especially the US government, on how and what they publish on their websites in South Africa. This is not America, and we don't take kindly to threats against our citizens. Disgraceful." Well, in the meantime, the Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, has insisted that the federal government won't be stampeded by the terror adversaries released by the governments of the United States and the United Kingdom, while reacting to reports of the U.S. government's evacuation of non-critical staff from Nigeria over the risk of terror attacks. At the Executive Council meeting presided over by the Vice President, Professor Yemi Osibanjo, well, Lai Mohammed wondered if Nigerians feel safe in the United States with all the senseless killings and school shootings that occur in the country. Let's take a listen.
I want to reassure both citizens, Nigerians living in this country, that the security agencies are on top of this matter. It's just like if Nigeria, mission in the US also sends a travel advisory or a warning, Houston, and say, look, don't take your children to school because there could be mass shooting tomorrow. So I don't see anything. I mean, I would think they are right to say their people should go home if they want to. But we as a country, we have a responsibility to keep our country safe. The concrete step is that people should stop spreading unverified news. That's what I'm saying. Unverified news. You see, look, how many school shootings happen in the US? How many senseless killings happen in the US? Have they been able to predict what is going to happen next? Which school is going to be a victim next? Do Nigerians in the US actually also feel safe? Look, I think you should stop the marketing your own country.
Lai Mohammed says no cause to panic. Let me take another tweet from Olumide, who wrote, Debunking the threat of security red alert is not the response. Let the government be proactive. Don't cover image that is already dented. This morning, a Nigerian tabloid carried the news of broad daylight kidnapping in Lagos yesterday. Obtain more information and take action. Dr. Abati.
Okay, we've been on this subject since yesterday.
Yes.
And this morning we had the privilege of a session with Professor Bolaji Akinyemi, who's a specialist in foreign relations. I mean, he made the point, the same point that had been made, that when the Nigerian government is overreacting. While people may say, oh, okay, the Minister of Information is playing his role, as an actor because a minister will not put down his government, but that it amounts to an overreaction. That if anything, which is the point we had made also previously, the Nigerian government should take the issue seriously because we live in interesting times, and that in any case, the terror alert is for U.S. citizens and their workers, because in the past we have seen international organizations like the offices of the UN being attacked with very grave consequences. So, and we are in a political season, so it's important for Nigeria to take some of these intelligence seriously, because the Americans, now I'm quoting Professor Akinyemi, have the capacity, the technology. They don't have to be on the ground in Nigeria to have information about what is happening in your country. So they will protect their own citizens, they will protect their own infrastructure, but the information may also be useful to us, given the fact that we don't have access to superior intelligence as they do, or as much coordination among the agencies as the Americans do. But the point about the reaction again, the additional reaction by the Minister of Information of Nigeria, is to look at the reaction of the South Africans. The South African presidency this morning has issued a statement to just say, well, we have received we have taken notice of the alert by the U.S. authorities, and as a government, we will continue to do our best, right? And we assure you that all agencies have been informed. And should there be a threat, either in the Sandton area or anywhere else in South Africa, the South African government, the presidency said, we will be the first to inform you of the imminent threat. So this is the issue. There was no name calling from any government official in South Africa. They just took it, in their stride, and they responded. But here in Nigeria, we have been having, contradictory responses. The DSS will say we are ready. The Ministry of Information, that is not in charge of security, would come forward and say, don't they kill people in America too? Are Nigerians safe in America? That kind of reaction, I think, makes light of the intelligence from the Americans.
Yes, I think it was important that the president of South Africa responded in the manner in which he did. But another point that I wanted to raise was the specific date that they issued that alert for, which is the Saturday, October 29th. It just appears to show that there is a lot of intelligence, but the other question is that why is the target on African countries at this point? These terror alerts are coming to Africa. That's what a lot of the comments that I've raised are alluding to.
The sad reality is because Africa is under attack. And you see, a lot has happened in the recent years in Africa, and Africa is not as safe as it used to be. There's been a breakdown of law and order. There used to be this argument that coups were a thing of the 90s, but coups are back on the African continent, and they are close to us. Look at Mali, look at Guinea. Look at the invasion of the continent by Russia. Look at new state actors. So hitherto colonial, hegemonies are being broken in this country, France and the likes, and there are splinter groups all over the continent. So it's not as safe as it used to be any longer. And that's the uprising we're seeing, collapse of governments here and there. And it's only emboldening terrorist group. Look at ISWAP. Look at what they're doing. Look at R1. Look at attacks. I was at a security briefing by a group called Town Talk and Amante. And they were sharing copious details of, these security things, alerts being raised by even the Americans and the likes about increased attacks, and we are going to election period. I'll also look at South Africa, as regards the fact that it's going through its own economic turmoil, and these are breeding grounds. So what we should do is to understand the times, like the sons of Issachar. When the Bible talks about the sons of Issachar, say they understood the times. So what our security agencies should read the times, and kudos to the DSS. There's a story, yet unconfirmed, but it's coming out of the wires this morning, saying that there was a raid at a certain place and they saw some explosives this morning. Some people are saying, okay, that might be part of the measures going on. The DSS is doing a good job. The police had some drills yesterday, societal drills. What are even the responses like in the event? And I think Nigerians too and national orientation agencies should be part of the drills. In the event that there's an outbreak, people need mouth-to-mouth resuscitation. How many Nigerians can perform a CPR as we speak today? How many? So these are the things, and the media too, should be co-opted and briefed, because we all own this country together and we are all stakeholders, and that's the response. I have addressed the issue of Zalai Mohammed yesterday. It is totally wrong. The DSS is saying something, you are saying something else. It's mixed messaging. This is the time we should all come together. And maybe going forward, if he's going to talk about security briefing and everything, there should be joint briefing with the DSS and the authorities. This is not the time to be saying there's gun violence. We know there's gun violence. I mean, we saw Sandy Hook on television. Nobody covered it. We saw all the killings in America. We saw the increase in gun violence. We see all the stories. We saw George Floyd. I mean, that's not gun violence. We've seen all the attacks. But the threat here is not about America. It's about us here in Nigeria. And if you go to the American Security Forces website, you will see a lot of threats too that they're dealing with internally in America. It's about us here. This is what concerns us, and we should all come together.
Well said, Rafai. We'll take another story. As Nigeria continues...
Thank you so much for sticking to this video to the end. Like I said before, now it's time for us to go to the comment section to air our mind and our opinion. Say what you think about this video and this platform. Do it constructively. Share this video, like, subscribe, and also continue to watch Linda's TV show, because this is the home of news. Until I see you again in my next video, remain blessed. For now, I would say bye-bye.